Yo, what's up everybody? Jumping here, and today I am on some Borderlands 3, and I actually wanted to talk about what I think is probably the best early weapon in the game by far. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Unkept Terror. I'm not comparing them, okay? I don't want to make you think I'm comparing them, but I do want to just say that this weapon reminds me of that, only because the Unkept Herald in Borderlands 2 was a weapon you can get really early on, and when you would get that, it would last forever. Literally, you could use it for most of the game and it was going to be good. This is a weapon that's just like that. Once you have it, even if it's lower level, it is going to be good for a very long time. And normally, when that is the case, that means that this thing is always good. Even in the end game, this is probably going to be one of the top weapons because it's just so good. Anytime you're using it, it's a great weapon. And the weapon I'm talking about, of course, is the one pump Chump. This thing is pretty insane. Mine is level 13 right now. Now, this can come a little bit higher. I'm not exactly sure on like Vault Hunter mode, which is basically just new game. I'm not exactly sure on how high this can get because there are limitations. Like you might think, oh, it can get to whatever level because of the new system. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm going to explain that a little bit later. But for now, it can be higher than level 13. But it's level 13, and I'm using it. I'm like level 25, and I'm fighting enemies right now that are level 25, and I'm having no trouble killing them with this thing. And in fact, in many cases, I'm one-shotting enemies with this thing still. That's how good it is. So now, let's actually talk about how to get it, where you get it. Now, the place that you actually have to go is going to be the second area. It's going to be the second planet, really. And that's actually Promethea. Once you get here, you're going to make your way over to the Meridian Metroplex. And then there is a side quest that you'll pick up from Moxie, and she'll tell you that she wants you to go to Electra City. And then here, there's a lot to do. It actually surprised me because this is a huge area. It took me like 2 hours to get through with everything. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But once you're here, you can actually get the weapon. So I'm going to fast travel here. I'm going to show you exactly where to go on the map. And the map in this game, I gotta be honest, it's a little funky, okay? Because you can turn it and it can be all twisted and stuff. So if your map, if it looks different than mine, well, you just need to adjust it to try to make it look more like mine so I can show you exactly where to go to actually get this weapon. Alrighty guys, now remember the map can sometimes be a little funky, so you might spawn in and it's completely upside down. Right now, my fast travel station is on the east side of the map, so I would recommend trying to make sure your map looks like mine, just in case it is twisted and backwards or whatever. But where we're going to be heading is west. Now, if you already ran through this area and you actually found these little crew challenge things, you might actually have this already unlocked. And if you do, you'll see it right here on the map. So this is exactly where we need to go. And we can go ahead and put a custom waypoint on that. But either way, I'm going to show you exactly where it's at. You want to pretty much head to where I have my custom waypoint right now. So we're going to go ahead and run over there. And on the way, I'll actually talk a little bit about farming in this game and how I feel about it. Because one thing that I really like to do is farm in Borderlands. I've been doing it for a long time, and it was always something that I enjoyed. But I gotta admit, I really like it in Borderlands 3. I think they've done a pretty good job with it because they made a major, tiny improvement, and it is such a quality of life thing, just because if you've ever farmed in these games, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Pretty much what they've done now is that whenever you actually save and quit and load an area back up, because if you're farming, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. You will spawn at a checkpoint where it used to be you would always spawn at wherever you actually came in at. If it was a door or if it was a fast travel station, wherever you loaded up, that is where you would farm. And that was a real pain because sometimes you would have to run across the entire map to get to where you're going to farm. But now you could spawn exactly at a checkpoint. Which, speaking of checkpoint, there's one right here. So that's why we're heading over to this thing, is because of the checkpoint right there. Make sure to get close to it just in case. But what we need to do now is head down the steps. So we're going to run down the steps. And there's going to be a tunnel down here. And once we're in the tunnel, we're going to make a left. There's going to be some enemies along the way. I'm just going to call out my drone and hope that it will actually murder all these guys for me. And it's going to be a puzzle. It's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles puzzle from Borderlands 2. But we're going to have to hit some switches here. So there is a cabin right here. And there's a button on the front. So start with that. Hit that button. Then turn this valve. Then go ahead and let these guys blow themselves up. Okay. But after you turn the valve, go ahead and pull the lever. And then you need to flip the switch here. Okay. Okay, these guys need to die and get out of my face. Okay, there we go. But you need to pull the lever down and then pull it up. And that's pretty much it. So now let's go ahead and murder this guy. And it's one punch. And he is going to potentially drop the weapon, which he did not. So if he doesn't drop the weapon, simply just go ahead and quit the game and save. And you will pretty much load up exactly at that checkpoint. And it will take you no time to get right back down there. Go ahead and re-enter the puzzle, which you will do it a lot quicker than me, hopefully, if you're not being attacked. But you just kill him over and over again until he finally will drop you the weapon. And the drop rate so far, from what I can tell you, is pretty decent. When Borderlands 2 first came out, the drop rate was pretty bad, okay? A lot of people don't know this or remember this just because they've been playing Borderlands 2 more recently, and they're like, the drop rate's okay. It used to be really bad when the game first came out. It was kind of a real pain to farm for certain things because the drop rate was horrible. But then they actually buffed it and fixed it, so that was good on them. And in this game, I can tell you that I feel like it's definitely decent. Because I am getting random legendaries, and that's always a good sign, especially if you're fighting bosses and then you just get a legendary. Alright, so as you can see, I spawned in right at the checkpoint, which is awesome. That's like such a quality of life thing if you're actually farming in this game. And we're just going to run down the steps again, head into the tunnel again, and then re-enter the puzzle and kill the guy. And that's what you want to do over and over again until he will eventually drop you your weapon. Now, let me go ahead and try to do this quick and right. So we're going to hit the button here. Then we're going to turn the valve, pull the lever, and then we need to pull down the switch, pull up the switch, and we are pretty much good. Here he comes. And now we can go ahead and just throw grenades at him to murder him. I'm so much like higher level than these guys. It's kind of a joke. And he did not drop anything for me. So now, I'm actually going to show you guys me getting the weapon because I do want to show that so that he does drop it, okay? And honestly, it didn't take me very long to get the weapon. It was maybe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes farming them. It really wasn't all that bad. And then I actually want to talk about how you can actually get this weapon and pretty much all the other legendary weapons at a little bit of a higher level if that's something that you're interested in. Alright, so this is me actually getting the weapon. Sometimes when you're farming something, especially in a game like this, you might go a little crazy. You start to think, does this guy actually drop this thing? I know he does. I know people say he does. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he does. Because you'll eventually get it. Just keep at it and you'll get it. And that's actually important because now people are going to actually have to farm for their stuff. Because in Borderlands 2 and in, other Borderlands games, a lot of people, they play the game, they love the game. But they don't really farm all that much because it's so easy to get items because people will dupe them to you. Even people that you're not asking them to dupe it to you, they just randomly just start duping it to you. And in this game, well, they've changed that. Duping is not a thing anymore. But the dirty little secret, guys, is that you can still dupe if you know what you're doing. But that's all I'm going to say about it. But I just want to put out there that you can still dupe. I'm just saying, okay? But right here, I'm showing this. You might be wondering, what's this about? I'm showing this because of the new system, okay? When you are playing with a friend or friends, basically in co-op, you have the new co-op system. And enemies are going to actually scale higher. So this guy right now is level 20. Now, the gear that he's going to drop is going to be level 18 to level 19. There's a big difference between me fighting him with friends, or in co-op, and me fighting him actually when I'm by myself. It's a huge difference. So if you actually want to get higher level stuff, you kind of need to farm with groups of people. And you need to be playing on the new system where enemies will actually scale up. And that way you can actually get higher level stuff. Now there are limits to it because this guy's limit is 20. He will not go higher than 20, at least from what I've seen. So you have to keep that in mind. But right here, I'm going to be fighting him by myself. And you're going to see it's a huge difference. He's only level 13. So his items are going to be level 11 and level 12. They're really, really weak. And I am just going to obliterate him with my grenades. So yeah, he's a complete cakewalk. But yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. If you're going to farm, really, you kind of want to farm with your friends or you want to farm with people because you're going to actually, first of all, get your own stuff, which is nice, but also you're going to get higher level stuff when you are doing that. Alrighty guys, well this is going to be a really quick little bonus clip here and I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to really just point something out about Zane with this weapon because first of all, you can actually extend the shelf life of this weapon and will last a lot longer if you can get this perk because this perk will make this weapon a lot better. And on top of it, at the end game, I can definitely see this weapon being really good on Zane himself. I mean, I'm sure it's good on a lot of different people, like it's fine. But on Zane, this one perk really does like make this weapon quite insane. And that perk is actually going to come from his blue tree, which is actually going to be Playing Dirty. What it does is that it's a kill skill, and after you kill an enemy, the next 5 shots will have a chance to fire an additional projectile. So you can actually get this up to 50%, and then you can buff it further if you have a class mod to go along with it. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a class mod at the end game that you could probably get that can put this up to 100%. And the thing is that there is no like time limit on those 5 shots. So once you actually get a kill, you have the 5 shots. And then once you start shooting and it's actually giving you the second shot, you know, you're going to get another kill before you do all 5 shots. So this is really good with this weapon, okay? Because it will make this weapon a lot more powerful. And right now, like, I'm level 25 or 26, and pretty much I'm able to go and fight enemies that are 22, 23, 24, and I'm still wrecking them with this level 13 weapon, okay? That's how good this weapon is. But with this perk is even better. I'm like one-shotting a lot of enemies because of this perk. Alrighty guys, well I really do hope that you have enjoyed this video and that this has helped you. And if it has, will you please like the video for me? Be sure to subscribe and also click the bell if you want to stay notified. I will be doing more Borderlands videos. I have a plan on probably trying to cover as many legendaries as I can and make as many guides as I can. So that's something that I'm planning on doing. So click the bell if you want to stay notified. I do appreciate it. And I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day and peace out.